All right, so for recording purposes, I always say that. For recording purposes, today we're going to be talking about a bear flag. And what is a bear flag and how do we trade it, right? So, for instance, before we get into the bear flag, I'm not going to go over the bull flag of what we went over last class. I wish you guys would have chose the trading view class because I would love to teach you how to chart. But we're gonna stick on the patterns for now because everybody wants to stick on patterns. So whenever we're done with patterns, I'll probably get to trading views. So one thing I do want to mention, we spoke about bull flags, right? So when you start to see bull flags, right? And I know I'm on a 3-hour time frame. I'm always say that so you don't get confused. I'm gonna just run to the chat real quick. Okay, what's up? What's up? So I don't get so y'all don't get confused. I could be on a 1-minute chart, I could be on a 5-minute chart. I'm just talking about specifically the pattern, right? So we had a nice bull flag right here, right? Like a nice pole, and it was a bull flag. This was the reason I'm saying it was a bull flag because the opening price of this candle, right? Let me just teach you. Look at the closing price right here of this candlestick is 1481, right? And if we look at this one, the opening price is 1483, right? So it wasn't inside. Yes, it was. I'm sorry. I should have told you the closing price. That's why I was confused myself. The high, right? The whole entire range of the candle. So that price is going to be 1486, and we opened up at 1483, right? 3 cents down. So that was the inside. So it gave us a bull flag to begin with, right? So bulls went ahead and took that opportunity and took it up, right? So when we're seeing bull flags, the reason I'm talking about the bull flag, even though we're going to be learning about bear flags, is because we had a class previous. And if you put that class together with this class, you will see that bull flags, after they happen, right? On smaller time frames, you may see about 2 bull flags, right? On a bigger time frame, you may just see 1, right? And what you see after that are bear flags, right? But how it happens is like, of course, I see a evening star here, so I can talk about it that way, right? But normally it's like the reversal patterns that you're going to see on depending on the time frame that you're utilizing, right? Depending on the time frame, you may see an evening star, you may see a tweezer top reversal, or you may just see a double top, right? The reason I'm saying that because off of the 3-hour, you can't see this wick that much until I open it up, but it's still double top, right? It triple top. My apologies, because this was the double top right here. It boom, boom, came down, right? Opened up, tried to do it again, triple top, couldn't hold that, and it fell down, right? That's how. But we're not talking about double tops or triple tops, but those are the kind of patterns that you will see, right? Like small little patterns. Not small little patterns, reversal patterns, or like the double top, triple top type patterns that will end up creating that pole for you, right? And then essentially you'll see that with not within after the pole gets created, so within that pole's range, the 50% of it. And it was funny that we was actually going to be doing that class, and in the Discord, go to the general chat. Right. In the Discord, I was earlier, while the market was open, I was speaking on the VIX and I was looking for it to gap down, because it to fill that gap, not gap down, but to fill the gap below, right? So that's what it was looking like as it was bear flagging, even though it was pushing green, I still am bearish to it, to this chart, not bearish to the market. So that's what a bear flag not always is going to look like, right? But before we talk about how to trade it and things of that nature, just want to bring you over, right? Because just like you have the bull flag, you'll have the bear flag or like the bear pendant, right? The pendant is always going to create a triangle, right? Well, like try to think of this being the pole, right? And this is being like the flag part, and it'll create like some type of, we call it a pendant, but it's like a triangle, right? Now, the flag will always be in a channel, whether it's channeling upward, sideways, or downward, right? Um, it's just about identifying, here I can use this one for an example. It's just identifying with the price action, like how we see this pole. This is a big pole, right? It's kind of blurry, so I can't see the time frame that they're utilizing, right? So let's just say this was like the 15-minute chart or something. You got that one 15-minute candle, then you have this 15-minute candle, right? Even though this whole entire thing is your pole, right? The range that you're going to be playing is going to be from this candle to the bottom, from the high of that candle, not just the close, right? They have it actually perfect on their wick and on the bottom of that wick, right? But they know that this is the whole range, right? That's the whole range, but we have to get past this line, that candlestick, before trying to even take out 50% of that candlestick, right? That's the range that is stuck in, right? And you'll start to understand, will it break out that range if that's a security that you've been studying over time. With gems, I would say, like, say, if it's American Airlines or something, how much American Airlines moves a day, right? So if it gets stuck in a certain range, like, oh, it normally consolidates around this range. I can see it in previous price action, things of that nature, but it will get out of this range, right? Even though that this is ranging from up and down, this is still a form of consolidation, right? So a bear flag, just like the bull flag, right? Anytime you're in the flag or independent, that is going to be a form of consolidation, right? It does not matter if it is ranging $3 or $4, right? What matters if that's doing that is the security, right? So if that's Tesla, that makes sense, right? Tesla can range larger than that in a day, right? SPY can do that as well. QQQ can do that as well, especially in the times that we're in, right? So I don't want to say stocks that just have a lot of volume is just going to do that, right? Just stocks that normally that in your mind that, hey, this stock a day will move $5, $10, $11. Those are good stocks to play, I would say, for the volatility, but also for someone that's experienced with getting in and out of their trade with discipline. That's all it takes, right? Because then you'll stay in your trade too long, right? And it can just range $1 and you're just like, oh man, it's gonna go back up because I know it's gonna do that, but you didn't pick the right contract to do that. You may have to pick the weekly, or if you pick, a 2-week out to a 1 week out, you actually have the availability to hold that contract because it can revive itself. But on a weekly or 0 DCE, it's just not gonna happen. And I want to say it's not going to happen. It's just often not. It's just often not going to happen. But rarely it does, right? So coming back to this example, right? It is stuck inside of this range. So we can see this pole. It is bear flagging right here. As soon as it came right here, it is still bear flagging because I would still deem it a bear flag until it breaks 50% of that retracement. And we can see that that retracement is right here. So once I would have gotten that high and broken that high, this is an engulfment, a bullish engulfment candle, right? Off of the bear flag. You can see the tweezer tops. If you just start reading them individually to understand what happened, right? This is an engulfment, right? So as soon as I would have seen this candle break up, yes, putting them together, I would have seen a bull flag, but this is going to be 2 white soldiers already to me, smashing right to 50% retracement. That leaves me with a higher low, right? So automatically, I'm not looking at that bear flag no more. It's not there, it's subjective, right? Overall, it's there in the overall pattern, right? But inside of that channel, it's not there no more. So that's when we say that you can trade the channel if you know how to trade support and resistance, right? And you know how to trade price action, because it could have came all the way down. You would have seen that it never took out your support system, right? It never took out that low, right? And then it gave you a bullish reversal, right? Which I would have got in right there as soon as it started going up, but you to take the tweezer bottom reversal, you would have just entered in right there, right? And just that would have happened. But essentially, if it would have kept going up, well, I'm not even going to say that, right? that would have happened and you would have seen yourself coming down, I would have went ahead and took some profits. Why? Because we know overall, I'm just talking how to trade, but overall we're in a bear flag, right? Depending on the time frame that you're in, that's what you have to remember. I am in conjunction, and not in conjunction, but I am inside of this bearish pattern. And even though I'm bullish for a moment in time, that's just that moment in time. Maybe I'm just scalping, right? That's when those things, those strategies start to come into play, right? So this is where it broke out at, right? After the bear flag, after all the consolidation, right here you got three black crows. Right here was your market structure break, right? It broke straight out of that. And now you have another bear flag that is just consolidating. And you know to say that it's no longer, it's still an overall big bear flag. But to me, once I start reading into the price action, knowing that, hey, it's starting to go up, it's because the wick is all the way down here, but the body of the candle's here, and I can see the candles broke that structure, right? There's not really structure within that wick, right? So it broke that structure, and now it's getting a reversal. That's why you see it stop like right there, because it's kind of like that structure, right? That's why you got the actionable signals there that kept coming down and then still closed above, right? Came down, still closed above, right? Gap down, opened up, kept going. Now you see the inverted head and shoulders, right? Inside of a cup and handle, and it keeps going. Right. So let me go into the chat real quick. Just want to stay consistent with the. Just want to. What do you mean? You just want to stay consistent with the flags, right?
Well, that was earlier when you were talking about we would have chose charting instead. I said since we did bear flags last week, I wanted just to continue doing bear flags this week to get that.
Oh no, I respect it, bro. That's why I asked, because I know I want you to learn something, but it doesn't matter what I want you to learn. It matters what you want to learn, right? And the only reason I was thinking about it is because I'm on patterns, right? So like I just started with patterns, so it wouldn't throw you off. I could always do like a refresher and stuff like that. But I like to go like I like to know what I'm doing, but I also like to know like what people want to know. And I'll just, stay on that level playing field. Is that what is called it's called a drop base, drop Moody? Yes, you can look at that. Yep, that's the strategy, right? It's just like if it was the other way around, like what do you call it, like a rally back up, right? But absolutely, Santana, 100% correct. And that's like, and for anybody seeing Santana say that, that's like knowing things like, okay, I know what a bear flag is, right? Okay, I know what support and resistance is, right? And then overstanding like, hold on, that dropped, consolidated for a little bit, right? Like that's the base, then drop again, right? The opposite would be if we was to flip that chart over, and that'd be the bullish setup. So now I'll just go through different bear flags so you can be able to see it. Like this is a bear flag inside of a channel, right? Is in that channel. It hits its resistance, comes to a support of the channel, breaks the structure, and keeps going down, right? We have one right here, and as you see, this person sees his bear flag like that. All of this as a pole, boom, drop. And this one, to me, the way it's charted, looks more so like what Santana explained. This one's gonna look more like a bear flag with like very detailed on what it is, right? And this one looks exactly what he said, like drop, base, drop, right? But we can still see this same, well, this one looks more so not like this one, but this one, right? You got a drop, and then it bases out, and then it drops some more, right? And then you have one right here, right? So one thing that I would say, right, just like I'm talking about the head and shoulders, not head and shoulders, the bull flags, like you get one or two, and then it starts creating bear flags, right? That overall creates a head and shoulders. But we'll get to once we're done with the flags, right, and the pendants, and then show you how the head and shoulders created. But just throwing you a gem in there. In the same way, if the bull flags create the head and shoulders and you flip it around, then we know or just like this one, the bear flags that start the pattern off, it will create an inverse head and shoulders. And inside of that inverse head and shoulders, you will see a cup and handle, right? And this is why the bear flag is, you hear people say bear flags, but it's because we're human and we try to rush through a lot of things and make shortcuts for things, right? So like how I learned what a bear flag is not just like how you see a bearish flag chart pattern breakout. Majority of anything that you see that's with a breakout is going to be a continuation pattern, right? So that's why I like bullish reversals or bearish reversals, because those happen first and then you get the pattern, right? Which the pattern can be subjective, it can play out or it can't play out, right? It just depends on the time frame and the security and what's going on, right? So hopefully that starts to click for you, where it's like, oh, so there's like a process. There's bullish, or since we're talking about bear flag, there's bearish reversals and then there's bearish continuations. So yeah. Right, and then this is a perfect example of a bear pendant, right? And it doesn't have to be coming down diagonally like that. It could have been coming down straight, could have just been one candle, or it could have been multiple candles, right, of an aggregation, right? This would be a bear pendant, like how you can see that is giving you some type of triangle, right? And then the flag, which is just giving you some type of support and resistance, right? It's just giving you a range. Right, just like right here, we found another one, right? And this would be still considered, like, to Moody, it wouldn't be considered a bear flag, right? But the way I learned how to trade, I learned that it's like all this would have been the pole to me first, and then all this would have been the flag, and then the drop and all of that stuff, right? But then you, like Santana mentioned, then you start learning about different types of strategies, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's a drop-based drop. That's exactly what that is. You know what I'm saying? To me, a bear flag is going to be boom, bear flag right here. We broke it, right? And I'm gonna start showing you that on the chart, right? But this is how you're going to see it online, right? So I always told myself that when I learn this, you know, I'll teach and then learn from other people on how to educate it better, right? So because I could tell even from me listening to myself right now, it's like, dang, Moody, you said that really, really slow. And for me, it makes sense, but can I get a 1 or a 2 in the chat if it's making sense the way I'm explaining that? Thanks. Is the flag holding if it breaks off 50% of the pole? Is the flag invalidated if it breaks 50%? You have to show me how you're seeing it. Ray, like I don't know, like what if this is a whole poll to you? You see what I mean? Like I was just talking about this, so I don't know if you're talking about the whole thing. So I wouldn't know what is 50%. But I'm not sure if it was on this chart, my brother. But we'll get to me. What you just said and asked is 100% valid the way I trade and the way I'm going to be showing it. Ray. 111. All right, cool. The market is so imperfect when we try to look out for the perfect patterns, we can miss out a lot of opportunities. Yeah, absolutely. And that's just because we're human, right? If we see something, we want to, that's like confirmation. We want to see it just like that on anything else, right? And we just have to remind ourselves it's just not going to be picture perfect. It's not going to be like that, right? So coming back into the chart, everything that I just explained, you can now see before I get into the bear flag, you can now see the head and shoulders, right? How the bull flags create them. And then you have your shoulder, and you have your head, right? And you have your neckline right there, right? It's gonna be a little diagonal, but that's gonna be your neckline, that like sorry. You see, that's why I wanted to do a charting class, because y'all would have just known exactly what I was doing. But that'll be your neckline right there, right? So, you know, That's a Head and Shoulders, and it's in like just a gap territory, and it's at 50% of this candlestick, and I have 50% of this candlestick right here. I'm just able to see that 50% of this candlestick. I also see that it's under the last closing price of this price, right? Yeah, it ran up last time, but that don't mean nothing. We already got price action that already covered all that, right? So I'm betting that it's going to go down, but they do things like this. This is when I laugh. And when I say they, the government, but that's not what I always mean when I say they, but that's what I mean specifically right now. They do stuff like this, like, and not just the government, corporations, right? Where they make it, they make it, I wouldn't say hard, but like, oh, you little funny little guys to trade when certain things are about to happen. Like we had a beautiful run up. It's easy to tell that we can continue to run up, but what makes it sucky about it is the FOMC's coming out, right? And the feds are coming to speak and all that other stuff. So like we understand that regardless of the fact that the market wants to push up, it just depends on what they say, right? Why? Because it's not that they move the market, they move emotions, right? They don't move the market. They make people do things because they said certain things. So you're like, oh, wait, hold on, back it up. Hold on. Okay, sell cat. Let's go to the video. Move all those profits, bro. Let's go. It's not a false alarm. So that's like what really be going on. You know what I'm saying? People just moving money and stuff like that. And that's why you see it just bounce right back, right? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Yeah, charting class would have been great. That's gonna be down the road. That's gonna be here when we're done with patterns. Patterns is gonna take us a couple of months, right? Because we got a lot of patterns. It just depends on how fast I get through them. So, but if I find like a segue where it's like, okay, cool, we can do like how I found a segue with, even though we're talking all candlesticks, everything was like actionable signals, reversals. This was just a segue. It's like, oh, continuations. But continuation is perfect for this, right? I just was like in a rush to like teach people how to like trade and like the candlesticks. And I'm not gonna just blame it on me. They made me feel like that too when we first opened up MSC Teach, because they went, oh wait, can we learn about market structure? Can we da? So it's like it didn't let me go really in depth how I wanted to with the Greeks and with trading view. So we just jumped. Okay, yeah, I want candlesticks. Let's go straight to the candlesticks. But yeah, it's still gonna be a beautiful explanation the way we go through this. So now everybody can see this bear flag right here. I don't know what I have charted on. It's like 36. I don't know what I have everything charted on VIX. So I don't really feel like recharting VIX, to be honest. Y'all know I would, but I don't feel like doing it. So we're just gonna delete that. Double click like that. All right, so real quick, so you can start to understand bear flags, right? So Moody hit it right here. Oh, before I even start this, because that's the extra that you love to do, Moody. So this is how we trade a bear flag, right? Also, this would have been a bear flag to me. Let me show you how they can all look, right? They can channel up this way, just like that. Oh, Moody, turn that off. That's what's gonna throw you off. Wow. They can channel upward, right? They can channel upward. To me, Ray, that's when I say if it breaks and it holds over this, is invalidated to me, right? Because
Okay,
it's just the way I trade.
that's what I was asking.
Yeah. Facts. It makes sense. And then that's one way, right? And let me just make it like this so you can see, because this one's basically like breaking. It can be just like that, and like this one's breaking out. It can also be like this, that is flagging to the downside, right? Right? It can be that way, and it can also be like this. Thank you, Father. You just had them all right there. And this is my favorite one. It can be just like this, like a channel. I know that you guys really don't understand what I'm saying right now because you're like, Moody, that's like 2 candlesticks. But I got y'all. This is like where this is June, cool, the 2nd, June the 8th, and then we're right here. All right, so I'll do this so it doesn't confuse you much. No, let me not do that. Where's it at? Move this. This is blocking it. Where is it? You see, guys, I be forgetting stuff too, and I always be on trade. What am I trying? Oh, that's what I'm trying to do. Wow. So I'm just trying to get rid of this candlestick so it can look more so like a bear flag for us, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm gonna take this one off and I'll let it play back the others, right? So this is just like how I said this would have been like one of my favorites, right? Um Now that we did that, understand that we're on a 3-hour time frame, right? Because this is just where the chart was for me. So that's where I just began the class. So I'm saying that this is a bear flag, that's a bear flag, and that one over there. And understand, even though I'm showing you all these patterns, Moody just likes to teach stuff. This is just a big inverted head and shoulders, right? Inside of a cup and handle, and I'm wanting it to fail and clean the gap so it can just destroy that whole pattern. um, so long story short, we can go down the time frame now that we have it charted like this, right? You can do this live too, right? We'll just say that we'll bring this down to a 7, I said 7, but a 1-hour time frame just so you can be able to see. You see the bear flag now? Just how I drew it. Remember now, and I'm trying to move slow so you can see it. Remember that I hit the replay button and I took off that red candle. So you only seen one candle, right? So I actually took off 2 candlesticks, right? So now that I came down to the 1-hour, you see that bear flag? Can I get a 1 in the chat so I can understand that that you understand this and I can continue on with the next part? If y'all not understanding it, just drop a 2 in the chat. Let me know what you're not understanding so I could be able to be a little more detailed. Okay, cool, y'all getting it? All right, awesome. Love it. Love to hear it. All right, so now you're seeing the bear flag, right? So I do all my charting like this, right? It's just how I trade. If y'all was on live today, when we got off, y'all would have seen my god brother, my cousin, Frank Jr. Um, like just charting and trading, right, and making bangers. And you would have seen like as me and him was talking on charts, or he had any type of questions, I said anything, it's like if I'm telling him to go to the left, it's like, oh, he already knew. Okay, no, I gotta go bigger because it's gonna take too long. My cousin trying to go. He already knows me, right? So it's like, all right, boom, boom, boom. I could say anything, and it's just like he's looking at every single time frame. Don't let that go over your head. Like you can see that we'll let it on a phone. We'll let it load up to a certain degree. Like we're not trying to see the whole thing. Just like let it load up. Oh, next one, next one, next one. We're just seeing what's really happening, right? So there goes your bear flag, right? Now we're just gonna bring it over here so you'll be able to see like your bear. This one was more so like a bear pendant, right? I would have to go to like a 2-hour. Let me just do it from a 3-hour to a 2-hour to like kind of make that one see a little better. You see what I mean? And I promise you, like what I was just able to do there, because I know y'all guys see that and be like, damn, how the fuck Moody knew that? Excuse my language. That will come in due time, right? Like this is a bear flag as well, right here, like pole, and it's just flagging down, right? It just continues to break different structure, and all this is doing, it's gonna take me too long, but all it's doing is taking out targets to the left, right? So basically, like what this was doing right here is what this candle's doing right here, just taking out a target, right? And kept going down and take out more targets. So you're able to see like that's the bear pendant, right? If we bring it over here, we just went from a 1-hour to a 2-hour, but you're able to see that right there, right? And now you're able to see that structure break right there, right? So that right there just happened extremely quickly, right? Because I'm always looking for moves to happen fast. I'm not trying to, I used to trade like this. like my first month and a half, or like, you know what I'm saying? But I learned my lesson pretty quickly and just overstood like whatever I'm seeing online is free. It's not really, it's just, you know, somebody's just, hey, I'm happy to be here. I learned how to do this too. I'll give my explanation. And you can upload anything that you want to Google. And like when you understand that, it's like, oh, okay, cool. This is not like a professional. This is like, you know, look at where the sources are coming from. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I understand that. Like when I first started, or anything that you first start and you start to go Google something, you read that like it is hardcore true, but you just have to remember that's the internet, like the ether, right? That's just there. I can ask, there will be so many different things, right? So let me just digest as much as I can and simplify as much as I can, and then go get education. Once you get the education, it's like, oh, that makes sense now. Let me get a one in the chat if that makes sense. Right. So everything that I just showed you on VIX right here, I just like to move to happen quickly. This is the picture that you saw right here. Like Santana, that's the base, the drop base bottom, right? That's like bop, bop, bop. I'm just gonna get it in the bop, bop, bop. I'm trying to get it fast. Right. I don't want to get caught in something like that took forever. You know what I'm saying? That's emotional. Y'all see me, I'm emotional. So it's just like if you emotional, don't let nobody try to tell you anything. Like obviously you see Moody, he goofy. I'm just all over the place. I don't care, you know? So all right, one's in the chat, so that makes sense. All right, cool. All right, so boom, and you can see that market structure break. Right now, if you wanted to see that just like that picture, right? You just take this down to about like really a 15-minute time frame, but 30 minutes should be able to do it from a 3-hour time frame. We just got to go find where we were. That's going to be the kicker. We're in June. That was like June 8th or June 2nd. If it was the last one, it was the last one. I remember now. Stop acting like you be forgetting me. June 2nd. All right. See, that's like that structure break right here. See, it's just not as pretty. So we're not just going to bring it all the way up here. We're just going to bring it so you can kind of see it. Look, and I'm going to make it look, I'm going to make that, make it look even better. Check it out. We're not even going to use that part because we got better price action. But after I show you this, I'm going to really show you all the bear flags and why I don't trade like this. But I'm learning, just be patient with me to slow down. But if you don't talk to me and let me know that, I'm not going to know that. I'm just going to continue to be moody. All right, this is what you're seeing, right? This big pole, like you see it. Look, that's the base. Drop, and really it's just this whole thing, but I don't want it to be so wide. It's really all of this. This is when I need to grab Zaytoven and be like, yo, Zaytoven, let me get the circle. Boom, shh, highlight. But yeah, that's gonna be a drop, base, drop. So you can see it. There it is. Literally, you can look right here, but if you look right here, it's literally the father just put it right there for us. Like if I go like that, it's literally right there. You see it? It's like picture perfect. Right? So that's why I trade the way I trade, and I be talking so quickly and stuff like that. Why? Because I really realized it a long time ago that everything that you're learning is happening live and fast right then and there, unless you're just someone that wants to be patient, like super patient, and be on a 5 minute to a 15-minute time frame. And just because you're on a 5 or a 15-minute time frame, or let's say you're on an hour because you want to be patient, that does not mean that you're just going to be all extra patient than the person that's on the 1-minute chart. No, that doesn't mean that. Why? Because the move can happen at any given moment. The patience is set an alert on your chart. It triggers your alert. Let's go. Don't ever put your alert where you want to enter at. That just doesn't make sense. But that's what everybody teaches. I don't. That just doesn't make sense. Why would that make sense? So I want to enter my trade right here. So now it triggered. So now that it triggered right where I want to enter my trade at, I'm already a little anxious. Oh, snap, it's happening. Oh, did you set up how many contracts you want to buy? You know what I'm saying? Did the price started moving? You know what I'm saying? So it's not at the premium that you want no more. So now you got to rethink on how many contracts to buy because you're trading with a certain amount of money, right? You don't want to do that. So if you're going to be entering right here, right, set your trigger a little higher than that. You know that your entries right there, you have your lines, but set your alert, your trigger a little higher than that, right? Because as soon as it triggers, it's going to give you time. You're going to go and you're going to start setting up your contracts and you're not going to buy yet because it's not passing your line. And then you're going to see it triggering and go up. And in that moment, you're going to learn so much. You're going to be like, holy snap. Look at how impatient I am. I literally got my contracts right. It triggered, didn't really trigger my entry yet. Look at this. Like, would you look at this? Baby, come look at this. Look at this. And I'm ready. I'm ready, but look at this. It hit a whole reversal and it dropped. It went up. Patience. You know what I'm saying? And then it just comes straight back down. Oh, there it is. There it is. Boom. Bye. Oh my gosh, that was so easy how I entered that trade. And it didn't even feel like I was chasing a candle because I had not even a set limit, right? But you can set your limit, but then you can go to your edit and then start editing it, right? Where it's like, all right, cool. If I feel like if my limit was 114, all right, cool. I see it at 112, but I'm seeing how it's getting weak. You know what? I'm gonna grab it now instead of even if it doesn't hit your thing. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you say it's at 114, let me edit it to 116. I don't really like the price action right here. Guess what? You just edit it and it didn't trigger you in, and it's playing there. And you're like, caught your ass. All right, just got me in my trade. I appreciate you. Now you just dropping, right? But that's when you learn to play with the option with your options, right? That's when you learn to play with I said your options, I apologize. That's when you learn to play with the option chain, right? And you learn to, okay, like with TD Ameritrade, you can go to your edits. The only thing that I don't do on TD Ameritrade is edit how many contracts I'm gonna buy. Why? Because I had it like that. I had it before where it's like, yo, I'm buying 30 contracts in this. And I went into a security and I wasn't thinking, and I bought and I was, oh snap. And I put way too much money up that I didn't want to. And like, I was just panicking for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I didn't lose. I ended up taking a good win, but I panicked, right? So I took that off. But if you go to your brokerage, I never really talk about this. I always talk about the editing your stop loss, right? Edit your brokerage where it's just like, you know, like with say me, I can only really talk about TD Ameritrade, a little bit about TOS, but I only look at TOS to like my percentage, because it's more accurate than TD Ameritrade. So when I go into my edits, I automatically edit buy, what is it called? Buy to sell automatically. Why? Buy to open. I'm sorry, because it's with TD, it automatically just, if you don't edit your stuff and have it how it has it, it automatically just does it like a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you was to open the option chain, it's automatically going to open the option chain, right? You have to know this. And this is how brokerages, like, to me, I could be wrong, but it's my assumption because I like the mind and I study the mind. And I'd be like, why every single time I open my brokerage, it shows me the weekly contract? Not like all of them. It shows me literally the option chain of the weekly contract. So if I'm trying to buy, I'm like, man, you know what? Forget it, man. They cheaper here. No, back out. You got to be patient with everything. But I'm getting a little off topic. But so how do we enter and exit a bear flag? So I'm gonna use this setup right here because this is a bear flag too, but Moody showed them. right? It's just, ooh, we didn't mean to do that. Don't delete that. Delete this one. All right. So this one is flagging like this, right? That's how we see it. That's how you're going to see it on Google or anything, right? I'm going to now delete it. And I am going to tell you, and this is one thing that the strap made me better at. I'm not gonna lie to you. I learned this. It was my first year of trading, but it's when I got the strap. Whenever you see an inside bar, right? An inside candle, right? This candle was inside of this candle. It is bull flagging or bear flagging. How do we know what is if it's bull flagging or bear flagging? This one, well, we obviously know it gapped down and started pushing back up, but this is still going to be like a bear flag, right? Just like this one right here. But I want to find a perfect one. Like right here, this one, this is a pole to the upside. We know that because it's green, right? It opened up right here. This was a bull flag setup right here. Moody. And this is going to be best because I want to take it to a smaller time frame because we're all on smaller time frame. And I'm going to show you how to enter and exit a bear flag. Just let it load up. I just got to find that drawing. There it is. So remember, I drew it. It was like a wick like this. Remember, it was like a pole like this, but this one was inside of that candle because you're not going to see that no more in this time frame, right? So now I'm going to delete this. It was just to bring me back there. And these were your bull flags. I just didn't want you to think that I was just blowing fire up my butt, right? And it's because it was an inside candle, and that's how we're going to do the bear flag. This was your pole. That on a smaller time frame opened inside and it gave you a consolidation and then broke out, right? That was the breakout. This was an inside candle as well, which was a pole, not a pole, I'm sorry, which was a flag. And then the next one was the pole, right? When you start putting all the price action together, you'll see the inverted head and shoulders, you'll see the cup and handle within there, right? And you'll remember when you're seeing those bigger patterns within that pattern, you know that that cup and handle is just bull flags. Bull flags. That's all it is. It's just any cup and handle right here. Cup, a bull flag, and then it finally failed. See the cup and then the handle failed. Right. Once you're able to just see that, you're going to be able to just see the chart. It's like, oh, this is happening. That's happening. Right. So now let's find the bear flag real quick. So you guys can ask some questions before we jump off here. I just want to find a dope one. See, like this one was a bear flag that rejected. I'm doing a little extra now. Like this was an inside candle, right? You had a pole inside candle, right? This one, Ray, is like hitting the 50% retracement of this candle. And you can always do this to see your flags better, right? Throw the fib on it, and you literally see like your pole is flagging. Oh, nah. You see how it went all the way up, came back down? Cool, still flagging. After this candle came out, obviously we see the morning star and came out, but when it came back down, it opened here. We already knew no more bear flag. It opened over the 50% retracement, came back down, bounced, and then took off, right? That's just an inverted head and shoulders. Once I get past all these patterns, I promise you, you will see all the patterns within the patterns. It will just be up to you to pull the trigger, right? I just can't pull the trigger for you. I'm pulling trigger. But all right, so the bear flag that we were going to talk about and how to enter is going to be right here, right? So when we're seeing any setup like this, and it could be inside, or it could have been just like this. This is going to be so easy, right? That's going to be your entry. Sorry, you see, I'm such a bull. That is not going to be your entry. That is going to be your stop loss. Boom, that's gonna be a stop loss. This is gonna be your entry, right? As soon as that triggers, you see it, boom, you enter your trade. This one just didn't keep going, right? I'm just finding a bear flag, but now I'm gonna give you some no, because this should have it could have kept going, right? Just didn't want to keep going because you still found this one like at the top of the uptrend, right? So now let's find some more. Let me go to a bigger time frame, see if it looks a little better. Oh, bro, let me get off VIX. Why am I on VIX? That's why it looks like this. Nobody telling me like, yo, Moody, get off VIX, bro. Had trade paralysis with Menard today, and hindsight maybe he's she hurts me a few times before, bruh. I don't. Let's not even. When it comes to like Novavax and like COVID-19, like they did me dirty, bro. I did them back. I'm like, I got them back, but I thought that was hot stuff. All right, so we're on spot. This is gonna show us some better bear flags. All right, cool. I'm gonna just have to go back, because all we're gonna see is bull flags and inverted head and shoulders. It's very bullish. We just gotta come to the past real quick. Right here. This is a perfect bear flag. Beautiful one. These are a few beautiful ones. All right, so right here. And bro, you can always just recharge spot. Okay, bro. Everybody's gonna have react anyways. Bro. So look, you can always drop this 50% retracement on it. And when you do it like this is when, if you do it like this with the 50% retracement, this is when it's always gonna click. When you go back to Google, you're gonna be like, holy snap, I see those bear flags like Moody's saying. But we know how to be like, hey, overall, we know that that's what it is because of a bigger time frame. If we go to the bigger time frame, that's like, it's gonna put all those candles together and it's gonna show that it's a bear flag, right? But on a smaller time frame where we at, we know it's not, but we know how to trade within it, right? And see, and that's what I'm showing you. Like, look, this, ooh, we didn't mean to do that though. Delete, back up. See, that's what I mean. Like, right? And you'd be like, oh, that was a bear flag. And then when it came, you see it, look, when it came to the 50% retracement, it's like if it holds over, it's rejected. You see how I kept flagging? Now let me show you the real, oh, excuse me. Now let me show you the real flag. The real flag was right here.
Yo, Moody, did that go from a bear flag into a bull flag?
I gotta give me a second. I'll have to put it back. I had it so I can see what you saw because I don't know what you were seeing. But give me 1 second, bro, so I don't get thrown off of what I was just about to do. So let me use you ain't doing nothing wrong, bro. You don't gotta say my bad. So with the trend line, this would have been my bear flag right here. I just had to do it with this type right here, right? So how I would have entered this is as soon as it would have broke this channel, right? Just using it that way and not using it. I'm going to find you one where it's just like an inside bar where I just use the candlesticks and I enter it that way, right? But as soon as it breaks this channel, right? And I'm always going to, this ain't that perfect because I will have it like this, literally. And this is a bear pendant. Now that we're charting it, we can literally see that as a bear pendant. Understand that I'm not using this wick. I promise you I'm not using a wick. It just looks like it, right? What I'm trying to do is get it nasty and clean and flush as much as I can with the bottoms of these candlesticks. That's what Moody's doing. I don't do that other stuff, right? So what happens from there, right? It opens, you see it wick back in, we caught the rejection, boom. That's how you trade that bear flag. As soon as this comes out, right, your chart will look just like this. Just like this, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool, I'm waiting. As soon as this candle come out is when you'll be trying to trade it, right? Now, that's entering your trade. How are you going to get out of that trade? By knowing your targets, right? You never want to be greedy, right? Your first target was right there because your entry point was right there, and we're going to make that one white. Oh, dang, what am I doing? This thing, I don't know how I got these shortcuts that I do not want on my chart. All right. white was your entry point, red is a target, right? That's one target that you hit after it bear flagged, after you entered in this bear pendant, right? It bear flagged here again. You can see this pole and you can see how it whoosh, and it bear flagged and kept, and it broke some, right? So now that's your first target. The green candle took it out, right? How you stay in the trade if you wanted to, don't get too greedy. You come to your left, just like we had this one here. This price action was not here. Moody, just do it like this because the eyes need to be able to see that, right? Because you entered your trade like this. And this is what it looks like right now. I'll let it load up. See, it look clean now, right? It's like, oh, snap. Yes, Moody. That's how we enter. That's the whitest entry. Let's go. That's my target. It makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? Bear flags off. You see the head and shoulders? That was the bull flag. Perfect. Bull flag. Perfect. You see that? Bear flag, head, shoulders, right? Don't think of all the patterns and reversals that I be talking about. Just flow with the bigger pattern, the head and shoulders. Bull flag, breakout. Bull flag, right? Bear flag, right? Consolidation, bear flag, and it falls all the way down, right? This is your neck line. Oops, Moody, don't use that one.
Yo, that would be a head and shoulders too at the top, right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Nice.
Yep, absolutely, my brother. Good eye. Right, so what I'm drawing out, I think it was Zoom user that was just talking. That's going to be the neckline of your head and shoulders, right? And if you're looking at that head and shoulders, always remember when you're seeing a head and shoulders, the overall a head and shoulders is a bearish pattern, right? So you're always going to see bearish patterns. Since you're able to see that, the pattern that you're seeing is an inverse cup and handle. Can we see that? I think your name was Zoom user.
Oh, what am my name not on there? Hold on, I gotta fix that.
Yeah, what's your name? I never heard it. Sound like you from up north. Let me stop assuming. You're muted though if you're talking back. But yeah, that's gonna be the inverse cup and handle, and it falls down, right? So that's your bear pendant. This is where you will enter your bear pendant, breaking the channel. That'll be your first target, right? This class is basically done. I just want you to see how to like make more profits off of it. And you want to gauge it off your magnitude, right? Red. And let me show you how to really gauge it. It's just because I'm just gonna get the targets off of the 8. You can just take this over to like, oh, I don't really feel like going too big. Just take it to like 45 minute, right? So all these candlesticks can go together and go boom, boom, boom. Right. So you'll be taking that one, and you could take all the way to here. Why, Moody? Explain that, because this is your market structure, right? If you look to the left, to the dotted line, that's where your breakout was, right? You see it, the cup and handle, that's just your market structure, right? So I would look to take them out or to leave them and keep going. Take it back to the 8 minute so you can be able to see, because that's obviously what we're entering the trade.
Yo, that one right there. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I see. I know who you are now.
I don't know why I didn't have my name on it.
What's going on? I forgot your name though, bro. I think so. With I know it's SK64, but
It's Steve. It's the good Steve, not
bro. Nah, y'all both good. I know who you're talking about, Dirty.
No, I know. Yo,
Right? Nah, Dirty math fun, bro. I love
yeah,
it.
he's like, I was talking to him the other day about some shit. He's like, you go on there. I mean, I was like, I haven't been on in a while, man. I was like, I got to get back on it. Work caught me caught up with stuff.
No, yeah, most definitely. But yeah, real quick, let me delete that just came out. So those would be your targets, right? entering your trade, and then your stop loss will automatically, you can use the top of this target. That's just things that I like to do, or you can just go ahead, right? And I'm gonna show you different stop losses, and I'm gonna make it green. So it just doesn't just blend with the chart like that. Didn't mean to do that one. All right, so the green is gonna be a stop loss. Another thing that you can do, and I will only recommend this if you've taken profits, right? Like say this dropped all the way down and you just never moved your stop loss and it just started coming back up, you know what I'm saying? But you did, let's just say you did take some profits, but it's just like you didn't move your stop loss, you don't got no trailing stop on, and you just came back to the chart and you're like, oh wait, my run is about to get destroyed, right? You can always, and teach them the right way, Moody. Don't just, I was just gonna put a line at the 50% retracement of this, right? But you want to take out your fib, right? Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Turn off this magnet and throw that like right there, like that, like so. Take that off, bow, so it don't be so cluttery. And you know that, hey, if I missed it, if I forgot to move my my stop loss down and I've taken enough profits and my runners are now about to get destroyed, you could obviously get out your trade, right? But if you're being a little risky to see like what happened because you think it'll keep traveling back down because it created a downtrend, then yeah, you can just do that to the 50% retracement. And we're just gonna let it play out and you can see how it play out, but that's how you trade a bear flag or bear pinned it. I would just went a little bit more in depth and just gave a little bit more extra sauce to it. But that's basically the class. I'm just let it play out real quick. So we can see how it structured out, went ahead, took out some targets, right? And that's what happens when it takes out targets, like you get a little push right back up, right? Came right back up to your entry point, but actually it's going to be your market structure now, right? Because you have to understand that it's going to be, that's the overall neckline to, let me pause it so you can know that. And the only reason I'm able to see that now is because it's creating more, right? That's going to be the overall neckline, your entry to the bigger head and shoulders. Like there's like, you just look at it like that, like there's a shoulder here. Why I'm saying that? Because you have a shoulder right here. So the shoulder just came a little bit under, that's all, right? And that's just a big old head, right? So we'll see how that plays out. And we can see that it's creating us an inverted head and shoulders, right? But we'll know when to definitely get out the trade. Like if we close, you see that's a double top. See, I'd be trying to get out, to be honest with you. And before that candle even came out, it's just that was very bullish. I'd be trying to get out that trade. I enter bullish trade. I'm really bullish. So when I see bull setup, you just remember I said the inverted head and shoulders. That's gonna create that. That's gonna create the cup and handle. That's gonna create your bull flag, right? That's gonna be your rally now, right? The run up base rally, base rally. That's what that's gonna be, right? And that's coming. You remember the 50% retracement? That's that. You see, that's why you're seeing a little rejection. Now, if we start to hold any of that, it gets more even bullish. But that's your market structure right here. That's what you're going to see the bounce, right? Remember when I said that's your overall market structure? That's what that turns into. And then you understand that it's just a trendy market. When you know that and you understand the market structure, it's easy to identify. But it takes time, right? It's just easy for me to explain it like that and to talk about it because I've been trading consistently for 2 years and some change. That's the only thing, right? And you see how it's coming down. That's your market structure break. If it holds under there, that's like your entry. Anything above this goes up. Anything below this goes down when it's at this price. I promise you. And you just rechart it. You just get your wicks, boom, 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 or get your wicks to the downside.
Excuse me, Moody, what's that white line you got drawn in there?
This line?
Yeah.
It was my entry point on my market structure.
Oh, nice.
Current market structure. It's being recorded. So if you was to just rewind this, you'll see exactly what I meant.
All right, tight. Thank you, man.
You're more than welcome, my brother. Does anybody have any questions? And I'm not trying to be rude, SK. It's just I would have had to like stop this, go all the way over, break this down, how we enter the bear pinned it, because that's what that is. It's just it turns into the market structure.
Yeah, no, I got you. It's all good. It's all good, man.
Awesome.
I noticed what you said right after you said it. I noticed it, and you saw how they try to fake you out and they went under it.
Mhm.
With the wicks.
Yeah, facts. And you better still be trading at 130 and 230, bro.
Yep, you know it.
Let's get it. Thanks, my brother. You're more than
that
welcome.
that
Go
1
ahead, bro.
p the 1 p.m. spy drop or jump.
Always, bro. Always. That's we talked about it, bro. That's the real power hour.
Yep.
Appreciate that breakdown, Moody. You're more than welcome. How do you set your stop loss? What do you mean by like how do I set my stop loss, bro? I don't know if you're asking like how did I set my stop loss when I gave the two green ones, or is that like a question?
What up, Moody? Appreciate that. You actually broke it down right after I sent that message. So, cause I had it set your stop loss for the trade that you just walked us through.
Got you. Bet.
Yeah.
One thing I mentioned is anything that I do, and when you see these, not the horizontal lines, like this is what I mean by horizontal line. If you ever see a line like this that I'm about to just draw, going on my chart, is market structure. Anytime it's always gonna 9 times out of 10 be blue. But if it's not blue and it's going straight through something like that, it's gonna be market structure. Understand when you see lines like this that stop somewhere, there were targets. After I have candles that touch those lines and went through these lines, they become your market structure. They become support and resistance. That's why you're gonna see it just play like this. See how it's just playing? See how the blue is just market structure. Anything above it goes up, anything below it goes down. I'll let it play a little faster so we can just see how it plays at these levels. But obviously we know it's just gonna test it just a tad bit because this is what Monday, and then we're gonna bye-bye. All it wanted to do was clean this gap. It cleaned the gap right here. It didn't clean all the way. Once it cleans it all the way, it's a wrap. Bye-bye. As soon as it breaks that blue line, bulls really are gonna step in. Bulls will always step in on market structures. See how it's just flagging? That's a cup and handle. That's a bull flag. Bull flag, bull flag. That's the breakout. Now it's reclaiming. See, because this is the test. Now it's reclaiming support. This is called reclaiming support. Even if it breaks down, it's reclaimed it. It's just like right here. It just couldn't hold it right here. Why? We see the RSI. It's not going to hold that. It's going to fall. It's going to go. Right? This will definitely hold. That's a 50% retracement that is bouncing off. Bullish reversal. You just keep going. You have it just has so much room. It does not matter how much it goes up and down right here. As long as it held this, your price is going to go higher, 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 higher. You see it? Higher, higher. It does not matter. For the price to go lower, it will need to break this 50 mark on any time frame. Everything that I speak on is price action based. So it works on any time frame. Even if I'm showing it to you on a 3-hour, you can take everything that you learned there and bring it over to a 30-second chart. So a 1-minute chart is going to work exactly the same. You see, this is going to go higher and higher and higher. Let it go a little faster so you can see when the drop actually comes, and that's when it breaks the 50%. Yes, we're going to see red candles on the way down, but as it fluctuates, your price will go higher. When the price starts to dump is when it breaks the 50%. I promise you, like, my chart doesn't change. This is how I've been trading for 2 years. This is my bread and butter. This is how my wife doesn't say, Moody, you need to go get a job. See what I mean? Where's my price at? Like, I gotta go find the candlesticks now.
It bounced off that 50. Like, we still going. We still going up.
You see, that's the dump. You see the dump now? As soon as it breaks back over that 50, buy. That's all we need. That's a pullback. That's all we need. That's a pullback. Watch that. We get one little rejection. Cool. That's no problem. I'm going to wait. It's going to come down to market structure, and we're going right back up. You see that bounce? Get out of town, bro. This is called support and resistance when you truly know. That's why you don't listen to people that just be like, oh, indicators suck, indicators are lagging and stuff like that. That means that they never known that indicator. Because if I get dirty up here, now that I got SK64, Dirty will rip you apart talking about every single one of his indicators. Why? Because he has mastered his indicators. He knows exactly what his indicators tell him and how to use them for confirmation, right? If you cannot talk about the VWAP or EMA up and down, back and spin it and talk about it and go to different time frames and manipulate it, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just getting lucky. My bad, bro. I'm going off of your energy. Let me get back
Yeah,
home.
man.
That's that New Yorkness.
Yep.
See, I know energy, bro. Let me pipe it down. Let me pipe it down.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Dirty
does
Sick with
anybody have
all
any
his
questions?
indicators. He got so many indicators. I mean, dude, he has so many. I stick with 3. I got the MACD, that I use the Williams %, which is like, is that the Williams that you're using?
No, there's an RSI, but
That's
it
the
looks like
RSI. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And then the random walk. As long as the random walk's over 1, and then you got the Williams or the same thing as the RSI. As long as it's over that 50.
I call it walking my dog.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, that's good.
Park.
You see, yeah, walking a dog and he just jumped out at somebody.
Right.
The thing jumps up. You're like, hold on.
Right. Let me hit this record button. Where is it? More.
Do you mess with